Let's give him a Burlington Alliance welcome to Marc Accetta. I've heard just great response. I mean, people are, they love the format. They love the breaks.
The breaks? We kind of,
it's like,
Andy was like, are you sure we should take breaks? And I was like, I'm pretty sure we should take breaks. So, hey, I gotta say, for real, look, I've worked with a lot of successful people. A lot of people make a lot of money. A lot of people like Andy who've been the main guy for a long time. For me, I've never worked with someone who is more open to allowing me to give you the feedback. You didn't want to hear the answer that you wanted to hear. You wanted what I really thought. And, you know, it's been awesome. I love working with you. You really, it's been a lot of fun.
well, my wife is right there. And a lot of times she does think that people are telling me something. She's like, you know they're just saying that, right?
Well, it's intimidating. You're intimidating. I know you're like such a nice guy, but I know there's a flip side to that too. So it's intimidating to tell the big guy something if you don't really see it exactly the way he sees it. So
well, you didn't appear to be intimidated by a lot of the things, and I appreciate that very much. See, well, I want Emily and Adam and Fitz. I want them to get what they want, and I really believed I wouldn't have done this with you if, you know, obviously Dan, your biggest fan, and the World Ventures guys, and Nick and Mike and Danielle and all of them, you know, saying how great, you know, what you had done for them and stuck with the company when it wasn't getting paid. And then, of course, you know, even going to the Google, you know, and looking at, but just watching your demeanor. And then, of course, with Brian Adams' endorsement, got me to meet with you in person.
Yeah.
But then I was just so impressed with your willingness to be frank, nicely be frank with me about stuff that you didn't think would help us. But my whole goal was I don't want to bring anybody on this stage into this world. And I mean, I can't help it when they go home who they let in their world.
Sure.
But I don't want to be responsible for bringing something into the world unless it helps them get what they want. And I really, really, truly believe that. And after this weekend, I think a lot of us believe this, that he's going to help us.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And again, I said it yesterday, but I think it bears repeating. It's like when we took that first flight, and I know, you know, it was not just you and I, but it was a small group. And then I just got to, and then you picked me up on another trip, and it was just the two of us. And the more I got to hear, I mean, all he does is talk about you guys. He really, like, he's constantly telling me stories about y'all. It's like, I'm like, how do you know so much about so many people in so much detail? He knows your kids, what their names are. I mean, it really impressed me because, again, I've worked with a lot of people in his situation who get really detached, you know what I mean? And they kind of sit on their castle on the hill and they come out and smile and wave and stuff. But to have an owner who's intimately involved and really cares about people, that's what turned me on. You know, listen, I went to a seminar years ago, for real. When I went to that seminar, I was a train wreck. I mean, I was broke. I had a broke mindset. And when I started learning, like, what turns me on is having people in a room who were as confused as I was and being able to give you what someone gave me. So I just thought the synergy was strong. You know, I mean, I want to help people. You want to help people. Brian Adams wants to help people. Seemed like a great fit, and I think it is.
The jet has been such a asset for stuff like that.
Sure.
Because my deal was, anybody can. I could snow you in for 15 minutes, or you could snow me for 15 minutes.
Right.
I mean, the interview process, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, if I can get him on that jet,
Exactly.
I get him on that jet, I'm gonna find something out, because you can't escape.
It's a really good, you can, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's dangerous, yeah.
And I mean, that was my ploy. It was just to get some more time, and hopefully you would see my heart too. I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't want you to just think come in there blowing smoke and throwing money and just making promises. I wanted you to see who I was, and I wanted you to meet some of my people.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, philosophically, again, it's like either there's synergy or there's not. You can't, just like on a date, either there's chemistry or there's not. And I know what I know. I know how to build networks. I know how to drive it with events. And that's kind of exactly what you were looking for. You know.
'Cause I know it.
Yeah,
I know the work.
and it's like, again, I'm sure there's people here this weekend who are like, well, I don't want to build a team. It's like, cool, you're an independent contractor. Don't build a team. We're not going to force you to build a team. But if you want to be a partner, you have to build a team. So, again, just for real, would any of you sincerely like to be a partner at some point? I gotta believe you want to be a partner. And I have to tell you, I have been for 21 years, I was whatever you'd call it, the highest level you can get to in network market. I was in 4 companies, built from scratch in all 4, reached the highest rank, and I always got something there, whether it was profit sharing, stock, this, that, and the other thing. After all, and then when I was the trainer for the other company, again, I got that kind of stuff. After 32 years, I think I made $100,000 total, where I should have made millions and millions and millions. But to be able to get legitimate partnership where you get, I'm angry that I'm not an agent.
What do you call it? Ghost stock, mirror stock.
Yeah. Oh.
Gonna get stock.
No.
Gonna get ownership. Gonna take over. I've been so many of those myself too.
Yeah, it's a joke. So I mean, that's when I got that chance to go to. And again, this to me is very much a God thing for me, because I didn't come here for a job. I met Brian Adams because our missionary friend said, you got to go meet my friend Brian. I met him at the Integrity building, and I was like, whoa. And then when Brian and some of the guys told me the story, I was like, I'd never heard of Integrity. So, wow, I was like blown away. But that was it. Like, he goes, we don't really do, company-wide events because each agency does their own thing. Yeah. But I got 1 or 2 people that might be into this. And then, of course, maybe 60, 90 days later, he called me and said, can you come down, meet me on my jet, and spend the next 5 days with me? I'm doing like the biggest show of the year, and I'm working 15-hour days right now. I definitely cannot do that. And he's like, come on, just do it. So part of me was just truly entertained. I'm like, this guy's a trip,
I'm a good inviter.
You're a really good inviter, because there is no way I was getting on your damn jet and flying it. I don't mind sitting on the jet with you. That was cool, but I wasn't flying anywhere. And then, I called my girlfriend. And I go, I'm going to Denver. I'm coming back tomorrow. But anyway, that was. The WV people did challenge me. He's like, I bet you can't. Oh, there you go.
So this is my guys. I think you've got to meet most of them. Sometimes I say it like, this is the best I've got so far. This is my people. What do you think about my people? My friends, my buddies, my family, my children.
Well, I tell you, first of all, I feel like I'm drinking from the fire hose, because you have so many good people, and I'm trying to get to know as many people as I can. I tried to, sit and really get to know people at lunches and breaks. So I'm excited to get to know people better. I did get a chance to spend some time, but obviously not enough. But the overall feel, wow, What I'm used to doing is truly taking something from scratch. Like the last company I worked with, there was no one with any experience, and yeah, it was a hard build. It took 5 years to get real momentum because it was truly taking people who had virtually no experience, no idea. So looking at the quality of the people, the talent, wow, like the talent, like each speaker, I was like, wow, like they really know what they're talking about, you know, and obviously they're making a ton of money. So I'm wildly impressed, and I feel very blessed that you, again, trusted me enough to allow me to come in and have an impact in some way.
Well, and I mean, what I love is when you say, this is really good. I've got 4 tweaks. What I hate is when somebody says, that's amazing, I've never seen, just incredible. And I'm like, you know, I was needing assistance. I needed help. I didn't need, like, because, I mean, there's probably insurance companies are gone, so I can say this. Here's what some of them say to me. We're doing really good, aren't we? And I always go, you're amazing. And then they go, no, really, what do you like the best? And I go, y'all got a lot of money, and
yeah,
y'all pay us. I like that.
Yeah.
No, but what product? And I go, well, this product's really good. And I'm like, could I tell you a few things that we would like to see changed? And they're like, yeah, let's get together sometime on that.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I get it.
So what I like, my favorite companies are the ones that say, what can we do different? Yeah. What do you not like? What can we change?
Yeah.
So then that personality, I'm going like, what can we change?
Yeah.
And so I've loved when you've said, if we tweak this, don't do that music here.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And must be working. We were expecting around 750 to 800 people legitimately butts in seats. We got closer to 1,000. Okay?
That's great.
And I think, you know, talking to you about how we're going to talk about it, it's not just meeting, the next meeting. Mm-hmm. We told them ahead we're going to have breaks. Mm-hmm. I just didn't grow up with breaks.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I didn't take a break. I worked right through. I was still working.
Yeah. Me
but
too.
We typically, if we have 1,000 people, we move 200 tickets, 300 tickets, 400 tickets. Everybody, so we're definitely going, but we're not getting a ticket.
Yeah.
Which means if I can't think of something else to do.
Yeah.
So we are closer, not only the 1,000 tickets, we're close to 1,200 tickets. My little bit of fear is, I told you the max in Monaco and David, I said, I'm thinking 1,500 max in Reno.
Yeah, well, and again, we have to be, always, you're my client for the moment in this regard. I want to do the right thing. I don't want to spend too much money and get some vast place. So yeah, we shop for 1,500, but the thing I didn't tell them is the space can actually hold about 2,200. So, I told them that this morning though, because we already sold about 1,200 tickets. So again, I hedged my bet. We could have cut it back to 1,500. You know, the guys I work with who negotiate the deal. So I think given the response you guys have had, we're gonna, you know, do 2,200 seats. So that's good. I'm excited. I'm excited. You're excited. And what's gonna be really fun is if you genuinely go back to people. I don't know how else to say this to you. First of all, what you do, I could never, I wouldn't want to do what you do. I couldn't do it, like dealing with the carriers. I have this little box of what I'm good at. You know what I mean? It's doing seminars and teaching what's necessary to build businesses. And to me, that's a pretty narrow little thing I do, but it just fits perfect here. So if y'all embrace this and you get the correlation, the more people you get to the next event, the more money you get to. The more people you get to the event, the closer you are to partner. then I'm telling you, we could be in, 5 to 10,000 within 12 months. Yeah, I mean, that's the reality. And for some of y'all in the room, I don't think you truly grasp what would happen to your income if that happens, because it's nothing like looking around the arena with 10,000 people and going, I have 6,000 people here. It's like, it's crazy, because it gives you much higher income, but it gives you stability. I mean, real stability, which is amazing.